Good morning, guys. Hey, we have quite the project. So a little while ago, we actually had a problem in our bathroom, and I will show you guys real quick. So everything's been demoed at this point, but our shower actually had a leak in it. So all of this got demoed. I've replaced everything. You can see a little bit of the damage there. I'm going to have to reframe that. But basically, we wanted a brand new tub. Mom wanted a nice big soaker tub, and so that is what she is going to get. Today, though, we are going to be installing this brand new faucet into the tub. So we're going to jump right into that, and we'll get started. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. When I first pulled out the tub, I was pretty annoyed because I was doing a lot of demo and stuff. And the original tub, I just cut the lines. However, I forgot what was the hot and what was the cold. And so I actually put these extensions on there so I could tell a little bit better. So that's why these PEX lines are so extremely long. So hang tight. Let me grab this tripod and we'll get started.
So guys,
alright guys, so we're going to start by removing these old bits here
that we just had to loosen, and then everything else was able to be just kind of loosened by hand once that initial break was done. So you'll see that we can just turn it, take the top off, and it just slides right down. Same thing with the old faucet area, just undoes, it comes right off. This was a little bit tricky, and you'll see a little bit why, but that's a little bit of a brace right there, made out of something, but there is a lot of fiberglass around it.
Alright guys, that is all taken care of. So we have 3 blank holes here. So we're going to stick with this being the cold. This will be, of course, the tap, and this will be the hot. So just a matter of, had to pull these bad boys off. Good amount of brass, I would think, on these. I mean, look at those. But I'll call it the buddy. I think I've got a buddy that does a lot of scrapping and stuff. So what we've got here is we've got our 1/2-inch PEX lines here. The problem is we don't have 1/2-inch lines going up to our faucet handles. If you see, these are a 1/4 inch. So I had to get these. These are kind of an adapter, but they are the PEX connections. So we'll just feed those in and we'll be right back.
Alright guys, and at this point we are ready to install the new fittings. A little bit tight, but we were able to get it down in. And then you just thread the washers up as well as the new brackets. Now, something about these new brackets is you'll see that there are those screws. I undid those because you want to have them nice and loose. That way, when it's all nice and tight and tightened, you can then just do up those screws and it'll just add just that extra bit of tightness to keep everything nice and tight so that we don't have to worry about it. Again, that little brace right there is going to give us a little bit of a hard time, and that fiberglass is nice and sharp. Definitely cut myself a couple times, as well as just kept stabbing the heck out of my hand. So
alright guys, both of these are on. I'm not tightening them down all the way yet, only because if you look, they both turn. I think that one, this one here, is going to need to be adjusted because I think it's supposed to turn out all the way. So I think I've got to make a 1/4 turn on that one so that it's more in line with this guy here, so that would more be off. But anyway, we'll tighten those up here in a second. I had a little bit of a problem
know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but there is, come on camera, a little fiberglass brace right here. And look at all those sharp little edges. Yeah, they,
as much as I love fiberglass, those made it fun. So hang tight, guys. Let's get back into position. We'll put the faucet on and then we'll hook up everything and see what we need to adjust. Alright guys, so in the kit comes all of the hardware and everything that you need. So you can see here, this is going to be the one that connects the faucet to the two pipes. And then of course I've got the other pipe here for the hot water, which has not yet been attached. So let's get that attached.
Alright guys, and these were super simple. They just threaded into the fixture right there. You'll see it just clips in, and those lines are all ready. These ones we just tightened down with the wrench, with the pliers. Just made those nice and tight, and then it's just a matter of just shoving it onto the PEX line. Here I am trying to separate them, and I just got frustrated and just cut it off. Probably should have done that in the first place, but here I go again. I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. And I'm going to make the exact same mistake. I'm going to, here in a second, try and unscrew that line, and then I just cut it off.
Alright guys, we are down here at the manifold. We're looking for our tub hot. So we're going to turn that on. And we're looking for our tub cold. I'll turn that on. I didn't realize, but those little valves that I bought connect the two pipes, they had that little ball valve, so hopefully we're not spraying water all over the bathroom because I closed those. So let's go take a look. All right guys, so that water spill is from this pipe here that I cut. There was some water in it, so far I'm not seeing any drips or anything. Let's see what we got when we turn this. Yeah, let's see. Let's turn that back. All right, let's see what this looks like, guys. So we're going to turn these on. Okay, so that is definitely... Okay, so that's off. Huh. So we will have to adjust this one. But look at that. Look how cool that is. Mama is going to like that.
So glad we did not overly tighten these, and we still have those screws to play with, because it made adjusting these handles really nice and easy. So we got them all nice and easy, and then we just tightened up those screws.
Alright guys, so all we have left really is this hole. We're going to pop that in real quick, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave this for a little bit, only because here's the thing. So by no means am I a master plumber, and I had to redo all that, and I want to make sure it's not leaking before I close in. I've already closed in it before, and I had to take it apart because I didn't realize that I was going to have to do that. So before I close it off and put backer board on everything so that we can tile all this, I want to make sure that that's working. So I'm going to have Mom test it a couple times, and hopefully we've got a working tub.
I'll tell you guys, after doing all this, do have a new respect for those people who do plumbing and fittings like this. Used to do some framing back in the day, but this was definitely more trying on my patience. But much respect to those people who do this day in and day out.
Alright guys, well that's it for today. At least until Mom gives it a try. I want her to try it so I can make sure there's no leaks. I can prevent those. Nothing but clean up now. You'll see, it's hard to see, there we go. Did get a little bit of that fiberglass in there. Probably should have been wearing my gloves. But that's alright. We got it working, and on to the next